I've always wondered, alongside being ergonomic, do these laptop stands actually help with thermal performance? Like, do they help cool the laptop better? I assumed they would because there is more room now underneath the laptop, but I wasn't sure. So today let's test it out. I'll be using Cinebench, the latest 2024 version. It's a pretty comprehensive benchmark. We don't care about the CPU performance or anything, we are just concerned about thermals. And I even bought one of these IR thermometers so we can look at the outside temperatures. I mean, this is the problem with keeping your laptop flat on the table. There is almost no space there for the intake. Well, in my opinion, it's a bad design. The intake really shouldn't be on the bottom, but oh well. Oh, and I'll also be using the open hardware monitor to measure CPU temperatures. Even if it's not pinpoint accurate, I think it's fine. We should just get a decent idea. Right now at idle, we are already at 57 degrees. The laptop is at 36 degrees right now. The room temperature is 28, so I'll shut it down and wait for it to cool a little bit. Now after a while it's 32, I think it's decent enough to start. Let's turn it on and power up Cinebench. I'll plug in the power and keep the GPU at max. I mean, we are just running a CPU test, but still. I'll wait for all the processes to calm down and I'll start the multi-core test. And I can notice right off the bat the laptop surface is heating up. And looking at the CPU temps, it seems to be at 101 degrees. That's pretty toasty, man. Maybe I should reapply the thermal paste or something on my laptop. It's been a while. I mean, I run aggressive apps on this laptop all the time, so yeah, maybe it's time for a maintenance. Checking in halfway through the test, the surface of the laptop is at 40 degrees. And the CPU temps seem to be around the same, 101 point something. Let's wait for it to finish. Okay, it's almost done. It's finishing up the rendering. And the temperature up top is 42 degrees. That's pretty toasty. CPU temps are roughly the same. 101.8 is the maximum. And since the benchmark is done, it's cooling down slowly. The problem with keeping your laptop flat on the surface is that it heats up the surface as well because of the hot air. You can see that this table around it is pretty hot, it's 39 degrees. And that's quite uncomfortable because you'll mostly be using the mouse right next to it. And if you're like me who uses heavy apps like Premiere Pro all the time, then this won't be a good experience. Also, keeping your laptop flat on the table takes up a lot of space. And especially if your table is compact, you won't have much space left for a notebook or anything else. Okay, now the benchmark is finished and yeah, the CPU has quite quickly dropped in temperature. Well, at least that's reassuring that my laptop's cooling system is pretty good. The Surface, on the other hand, takes a lot of time to cool down. It's still at 40 to 41 degrees. And surprisingly, the keyboard area is at 40, which is not great. The wrist rests are fine at 31, but yeah, the WASD key area especially, you can see it's hovering around 40. Yeah, that's not comfortable. If you're using the laptop's keyboard directly, that won't be a good experience. The max temperature we hit was 101.8. Let's see if our laptop stand can improve any of these factors. The CPU temp, the surface temp, and the surrounding temp. And of course, the space restrictions. I'll shut it down once again and let it cool down. It's currently at 41, let it cool down a little bit. This time we'll be trying it with a laptop stand, and Megastro has actually sent me their newest version. These are their latest edition of their Pro stands, and you can see how much tighter those hinges are. I've been using their first version ever since 2021 and it's been great. This new version has much tighter hinges, so it won't flex on you. It'll only flex on your haters. And of course it has multiple levels of adjustability, so you can adjust the inclination as you wish. Let's keep the laptop on there, and I let it cool down a bit too much maybe. It's at 31 now. But it should be pretty much the same when we run the benchmarks. It's a 10-minute benchmark after all. As I'm starting the benchmark, it's at 31 degree, almost 32. And oh, the CPU already seems to be at 98 degrees max. Well, not a lot of difference, and after a while it did climb back up to 101 point something anyways. So looks like the stand by itself won't do much of a difference for the CPU thermals, but it will not let the surrounding table heat up as well because the laptop is raised up, right? So your table remains nice and cool near the room temperature. So at least you can use your mouse in peace. Okay, the test is almost over and we reached the exact same temperature at maximum 101.8. Well, that's the CPU temp, but the hardware story is a little bit different. While the surface temp near the power button is around the same, like 41, the table remains super cool at 29 despite the laptop being so hot. That's a big difference without the stand, which was 39. And the stand will like push the laptop further back, giving you more space on your table. So you can keep your notebook or move your mouse and all that much more comfortably. And with how affordable these laptop stands are, there's really no reason to not get one. And if you're still unsure about getting one, then Megastro and I are doing a giveaway. You stand a chance to win 2 of these stands, one here on YouTube and one on my Instagram. All you have to do is just follow Megastro on Instagram, and you can follow me as well. And leave a comment on this reel just so that I can pick a winner there. Same goes for this video. Just leave a comment on this video and I'll pick someone after 1 week. Just make sure you have your contact info or something in your about section, otherwise I can't contact you. A simple email, your phone number, your credit and debit card number with your security code and all that, you know the drill. You can also get your name or some initials engraved on this. Megastro will hit you up. So yeah, go ahead and follow us on both platforms. You'll have double the chance of winning. Anyway, one interesting observation I saw was that even though the top section of this laptop is pretty hot as usual, the keyboard area is now much cooler than before. Remember when we kept it flat on the table, it was like getting 40 or something. This time it's at 35 or 36. I mean 3.5-4 degrees is significantly lower. What's going on? Maybe keeping it on a laptop stand is not letting the heat get distributed, especially to unwanted areas like the keyboard. Or it could be because the hot air has a lot of room to escape, so it's not heating up the table and the keyboard and everything. I don't know, there could be multiple reasons. You let me know your theory. And yeah, remember to keep your contact info in your about section so I can hit you up and give you a free stand.